What's up everyone, Xantos here with my first ever instructional video on Knighthood. I'm a level 45 player. I've been playing the game for about 7 months now, and I figured I'd do a little guide to the Onslaught Dungeon. So for me, when I start up the Onslaught Dungeon, honestly the first 5 floors are pretty much just a walkthrough for me. It's fairly easy. I go down to whatever my lowest heroes are for the first couple floors, just to use them as fodder, and make sure that I bring my strongest weapon. I'm sure that even some new players understand though that the first couple floors are no real challenge. They're meant for the beginner players, so I just throw it on 3 times speed, and just like that, we have floor 1 complete with just 4 attacks. Alright, moving on to floor 2. Back in the day when I was a little bit challenged by this, a little bit lower level, I remember I would bring, what's her name? Nico. Nico, however you say it, was a big help for this dungeon. But now, due to my level and putting in a lot of effort into different weapons and that, once again I just go into this dungeon, I throw on the 3 times speed, and let it play through. And just like that, floor 2 is complete. Alright. Moving up to our next floor, we have Sister Nona. She is a cult. Again though, the power of these enemies are still not strong enough, so I'm just bringing some lower level 20 heroes. We get into the dungeon, we smash on that 3 times speed, and we run through it. 4 attacks. Alright, now floor 4 is the first floor that I actually bring a hero. I bring Rhiannon. Have a hard time with some of the names. Rhiannon's the only hero that we're really going to need for this, and we're also going to be switching from the 3 times speed on this, going back to actually attacking. He pulls his back row first, so we throw out 4 punches. That brings our rage meter to about half with the champion's gauntlet. The 2 attacks from the back row actually put our rage meter just above half, and with 3 extra punches, that gives us our rage, and we can use Rhiannon's rage power, which should take out everyone, if not leave the boss with one. Yeah, he's gonna be 1 more hit. One hit, we finish things off. Boom. Alright, so once we enter into floor 5, we're going to be doing our first weapon switch. I feel like this is a floor that you definitely need a demon weapon for. All of the enemies are demon. Bringing a demon weapon really helps. And along with that, I don't use my heroes too much in this floor, personally. As a lower level person, I could see this being a bit of a struggle, but as a level 45, this is pretty cakewalk for me with my demon weapon. So 1, 2, 3, Bawa. He's gonna get his back row summoned. Oh, he went with another one in the front. He doesn't often do that. Alright, and we've made it to back row. With the strength of my current demon weapon, I could attack his side minions, but it's pointless. They're not going to get their buff within the turn, so I can actually... This might actually kill him. Boom, just like that, we're done. And we have the first masterwork chest. Now, Chieftain Thrax. Chieftain Thrax is a little bit more of a challenge. I bring my cult weapon for this one as well. I also bring the hero Lucan from the Wintertide event. He's a goblin hero, and this is a goblin enemy. I find him fairly useful for this part. I also bring Fari over here because she has Fury on her base. To be honest though, I might not even use it. I may be able to just defeat him with punches, Lucan's base power, and Lucan's rage power. So you notice I'm keeping my focus on the main enemy himself rather than dealing with his minions. And that's because my armor has hit a point that even if his minions attacked me the whole time while I'm here, they're not going to break my armor, they're not going to get to my health, so it gives me the opportunity to just tee off on him the whole time. Bust out the rage power. The rage power of Lucan will hit everyone and also give poison, so a couple of these enemies might end up dying before we kill him. May not, we'll see. Punches and bunches. Rage power is important. Alright, due to his poison, my weapon actually has two 90% boosts on ultimate attack to poison to enemies afflicted with poison. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and a big hit for the final damage, and that does it. Alright, next up we're at floor 7. This is where I really feel like the strategy of the Onslaught starts coming into play. I like to bring Krusa and Tristan for this one. I bring a strong golem weapon because of the minions that he summons. They're front row enemies and he hides in the back row, so being able to deal with the golem enemies quickly is nice. But I also have a little strategy for this one, which I'm going to show now. Alright, so he summons two big enemies for his start. Start things off with my golem weapon. Bring him down to a sliver of HP. Next up, we're going to move on to the next enemy. We're not actually going to finish that first one. 3 punches to build rage, and 1 attack from the golem. We might need to punch him one more time just to get him down a little bit more health. Punch, 1 there. Perfect, that should leave him at a good point. 3 punches on this golem. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That grants us our rage power. Next turn will be a buff turn. So we move on to this little golem down here. 1, 2, 3, and we'll throw on Tristan's buff, giving us 3 turns of protect. Now, all of the enemies in the front row now are at a very low position. So, what we can do to pull Big Boy in the back into the front is activate Tristan's rage power, which will simultaneously take out all 4 enemies. That exposes him to the front row and gives the pull, which allows us to take out him before he summons all 8 of his goblins. So what we're golems. So what we're doing is we're avoiding fighting all of the people that he has, going directly to the source of the power and taking it out. Now again, with my armor is at a high enough stat where his minions aren't going to be able to defeat me in the time that it takes me to tee off against him. So we're just going to keep punching until we finish him off, and that'll be floor 7. One, 2, 3. We might need to do 1 more turn after this. We can give Krusa the finish. Hey, Krusa, finish. Thanks, buddy. And just like that, floor 7 has been completed. Alright, moving on. Floor 8. This one is Captain Grotz. Captain Grotz is a cult Milita enemy. He also brings cult with him, so we'll be bringing Aaron with us. Along with Aaron, I think I'll be bringing Sierra, just in case it does get down to it and we need a little bit of protect and a heal. We have it there. It's accessible for us. Alright, heading on in. With this enemy too, we really want to focus on our rage. Aaron's rage is going to be very useful in this dungeon. I have my Aaron at level 45. The poison and acid that's affiliated with him is extremely useful, I find. As you can see right now, we're about to use his rage power, and it should take out both of the enemies in the back row. Oh, left him with a sliver, but he'll be dead to acid next turn right now. Boom. Just like that. Good morning, girlfriend. I am doing a walkthrough on the Onslaught Dungeon. Okay, with the enemies in the back row back there, one is poisoned. He'll probably die this turn, but we're going to be able to get another one of Aaron's rage powers, which should take out both back row enemies again. Big problem with those back row enemies is that they hit you with weaken. This is not a dungeon that you want to get weakened in. If you get weakened in the initial stages of it, it really makes the further parts of it more difficult. And again, with the boost to acid damage, I'm going to finish him off this turn with my ultimate attack. 1, 2, 3, boom. Oh, he actually survived. If that was a critical, he would have went down. But his status ailment should take him out. Oh, close. Very close. And that right there is floor 8, I believe that was. Floor 8 complete. Alright, next up is another cult dungeon with Beast and Outlaw sprinkled in. If you ask me personally, I find this to be the hardest dungeon of the Onslaught. Just because those Outlaw, if they stun you, this can get very difficult. Along with the Beast, if they manage to get their expose effect on you, this dungeon can get pretty hairy pretty quick. But we should be good with what we got, so here we go. Vordry is very useful in this dungeon. His ability to hit all enemies on the field with a very strong attack is very handy. So we're starting off with Beast, which actually makes this a little bit more difficult. But again, punches and bunches. Try and get our rage up as quickly as possible. Oh, and he summoned more beasts. That's not good. 2, 3. Big Vordry pop coming in. Should take out the first 2. Oh, it didn't kill him. That's unfortunate. He's going all beast. Where's the Outlaw? The Outlaw normally make this a little bit easier. Alright though, stick with the strategy and we should be okay. As long as we avoid the expose on us. That's the main thing that we're trying to avoid. 2, 3, now coming in with another Vordry big pop. Boom! Excellent. We took out one of the Outlaws and left the other one with only 1 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. No exposed status going to be hitting us. Alright. Running into a bit of a troublesome patch here. We got quite a few enemies up. We gotta kill these outlaw guys because stun is actually more important to avoid. And lastly, we're gonna use 45's base power to burn the last 3. Well done. We have 45's base power again now. Use it. Rage power, sorry. And who do we got in front of us? These two right in front of us are most important to avoid, so we're gonna have to go boop and boop. One of them's gonna hit us, unfortunately. Oh, we still have one move. Excellent. Nice. We're not gonna get hit. Alright, he has no more summons now. Our health is fairly low, but 45's done his job. We have supplied him with the fuel that he needed. And just like that, we have completed floor 9. In my opinion, the most challenging floor of the Onslaught. And we are now entering floor 10. This is another floor I bring a demon weapon to. I also bring Anara because of her ability to burn all enemies, and Titania for her heals. Alright, so this is another dungeon. We keep the punches rolling out for as long as we can. Outlaw enemies are susceptible to burn, which is the reason that we bring Anara. I haven't trained a outlaw hero to level 45 yet, and this is definitely a dungeon that you want to bring level 45s to. So, in my opinion, this is probably not the ideal setup on how to do this dungeon, but with what I've built in game so far, this is what I use. So, Anara's ability to burn everyone is huge in this. The burn to the back enemies is very important. You'll notice here I burn this guy. He's only going to have a sliver, so he's going to go down. And the 2 back row enemies hit you with expose if they get their powers off. And that's a big no-no. You don't want to get hit with expose in this dungeon. So we're going to punch and buff with Titania's base power for some focus. And then get another 3 punches out there. This guy's going to tee off on us with 4 attacks, but again, having an extremely high armor stat makes it so that that's not too much of an issue. Now those 2 back row enemies, if they launch this turn, I'd be hit with expose. So again, we're going to have to, 1, get Titania's big rage power rolling out again. And you'll notice with this rage power, because the burn wear down, I actually take out both of them in the back row. Buddy boy in front here is low as well now too. He'll die from burn next turn. And there's a protect. Get our health back up. Oh, he didn't die. He got his buff off. That's alright. We'll get 1 more punch on him. Should do the trick. Switch up our punches to the next enemy. We have to get another rage power rolling out as soon as possible so that we can burn those back row enemies and get that, avoid being hit with that expose. Again, Titania's base power for a bit of focus, a little bit of extra health. And we're gonna get rolling out with another big rage pop. Excellent. Now at this point in time, he has 4 summons left. He's gonna have to summon next turn. His 2 back row enemies are gonna be dying within the 2 turns too. That should be another 2 summons, and then this other guy in the front. That'll be the last. Should expose him. No, I don't have COVID. all the while too, the burn that you've been inflicting into the outlaw enemies, it's wearing down on him. He's not susceptible to burn, but he does take damage from it. Now we just got hit with an expose. It's not what we wanted, but we're gonna have to deal with it. So again, keep that rage power rolling out. Don't let up on your plan, even if it starts going a little bit south. So because we just got hit there with the expose, I'm actually gonna take this time, get to focus on about 3,000 heals, and then another 3,000 from Anara's base power. That puts us into a much more comfortable position. We have 3 turns of expose, but we'll be able to deal with it. With the amount of time that's left in the dungeon, I think it's alright with when we did get hit with the expose. So again, another 4 punches. Trying to get that Anara rage power so we can take out that back row again. She's honestly our only means right now of being able to attack the back row. Here it comes. Sulfurous Solutions. And that's another one of the front row enemies taken out too. Berserk charge. 2 big pops from the back. Big boy. Get that focus on. Focus is extremely useful. Finished off the front row. We've made it to the back. He has no more summons. He's been exposed. And just like this, two final back row enemies taken out, and 2 attacks on him. Should wrap the things up. 1 attack. All finished. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my guide to the Onslaught Dungeon. I hope you enjoyed. All 10 floors complete within, how long did it take us? 20 minutes. Not too bad. I hope you enjoyed. Quick little recap of the heroes. We had Anara and Titania, floor 10. Vordry and Balbrith, floor 9. Aeron and Sierra, floor 8. Tristan and Crusa, floor 7. Lucan and whatever her name is, floor 6. What's her name? Rokara and Grim. Rhiannon and the witch lady. Ursula. Come on, help me out. Ninjiro and Olaf. And the rest. Hope you enjoyed.